Hey everyone, how you doing today? This is episode number 3 with Omar. We talked about taking care of your network, constantly communicating. We walked through his flip or his soon to be flip. But now what I want to talk to Omar about is how do we help people get on the property ladder? How do we help them get their first home, their owner occupied, 3.5% down, whatever it is? Omar is a real estate entrepreneur, a real estate broker, a real estate agent, and a great friend of the channel. So I thought I would ask him what he thinks about getting people their first home. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing well. So I
Good.
believe homeownership's critical. I believe it's the largest investment, largest savings account for most people. But I'm curious what you think. You help people every day in this aspect. So I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, the number one thing that I'll tell everyone is that if you think that you cannot buy a home, you know what, you might as well try. Get with the lender, find out what you qualify for. You
Mhm.
know, if you've been paying your taxes every year, you have a good stable job, you'd be surprised, especially with the interest rates being so low, you'd be surprised what you're going to get qualified for. And people are saying that, yeah, the market's super high, but it's also super low for interest. So you might be paying just about what you're paying in rent. That would be your mortgage. And if you save some money, you'll be able to put that down at 3.5%. But right now, there's so many programs that the government will give you
Mhm.
your down payment. So really, you just have to come up with 3, 4, 5, 6,000 bucks, depending on your area. I
Yeah.
should say that, depending on the price point as well. And you might as well at least try because the minute you get your first home, you now have an investment for yourself, for your family, something that'll appreciate over time, the long run,
Mhm.
and you'll be able to write off, depreciation on your property that you live there,
Yeah.
and it'll just help you out in the money that you end up making on a yearly basis. And it's not so far fetched. Before, yes, interest rates were super high, you have to qualify, you still have to qualify, but you might as well try,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. What I would tell people when I think about this, first and foremost, I'm a huge believer in home ownership. Uh, but I'm a believer in home ownership when you do the work, when you do kind of do the blocking and tackling up front. So let me talk about what I mean there. For most people, right? I think it takes a minimum of 10 grand to get into a home, right? 10 grand of savings. It could be closing cost, down payment, whatever it is. Can you get in for
Right.
less? Yes. But let's just talk in great generalities. What I want people to realize, and one of the things I released that course over the weekend on kind of financial freedom starts here is I want people to realize they have an income, they have a set of fixed expenses, and then they have what's left over that I call freedom dollars that some people, you can call them discretionary dollars. Folks, you need to own a home, right? And even, if that's the only thing you ever buy today and you get a fixed rate loan under 3%, for some of you under 2.5, you are going to protect your family,
Yep.
right? Inflation is coming. Also, the other thing that's very vitally important, I believe homes, the single family unit, is becoming scarce. Wall Street is coming in and buying 10 or 12%. Shoot, Wall Street can't get enough. They're building homes to rent. So get in now before they are extremely expensive. So again, these are all things that are important. I believe homeownership is important. I believe it's worth the sacrifice. And if it takes you a year, it takes you 2 years to save 10 grand, so be it. I think you're better off for it.
Nice, Michael. That $10,000 is key,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that right there, I mean, you have to have it in your bank account. If you have less than that, then it makes it a little more challenging. Can you do it? Sure, but I like the way you worded that too, Michael, because I mean, you're not going to get yourself in trouble. You're not going to get yourself trying to buy something that you can't afford either. So,
Yeah. And the other thing I like about getting to the 10 grand is you've proved that you can sacrifice for a little while, because owning a home has expenses that you as a renter may not appreciate, right? Stuff breaks. And oh, by the way, you're the homeowner, so you owe it. Where if you're a renter, you can
exactly.
just pick up the phone and call somebody else and somebody else fixes it. So
Yep.
um, these are just important things I want people to realize. But again, homeownership is important. If we look out 10 or 15 years, it's possible that Wall Street owns twice or three times as many homes, and we are a renter nation. So get on the ladder now, get 30-year fixed rate under 3%, protect your family.
Well said, Michael. Well said.
Cool, man.
It's awesome.
That's just what I wanted to say. Any closing thoughts?
You know what? Just to segue with what you just stated about home ownership, it's it's super key. When I bought my house at 24, I was renting, and actually I was, renting a room for my parents. And the minute that that you buy a home, you can now see that you can do it. Like, that's the biggest investment that anybody makes, is their home. If you have a business, that's another investment, but primarily everyone wants to buy a home. And that's the biggest asset that anyone will end up purchasing. So uh, don't think you can't do it. Figure out a way how to do it. That's the difference.
Well said, man. Well, I appreciate you again. The channel appreciates you doing this. I know it, holding the phone out like that, you got to work out your muscles. It's a little stressed.
I am.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.